Hello and good day, Mike Adcock with an update on Depression 1 off the coast of Sri Lanka in the Bay of Bengal. This briefing is based on data through 9 Zulu from the India Meteorological Department on the 5th of January. Taking a look at satellite imagery, do see the exposed low-level circulation just off to the northeast of Sri Lanka. Do have some convection pulsating there on the western side. Did look at some microwave imagery earlier today showing quite a bit of dry air surrounding the center. And the shear aloft is moderate. That's helping to displace those thunderstorms over northern province in Sri Lanka, as well as some of the southeastern provinces there in India. As of 2:30 p.m. Sri Lanka time, the center of circulation with this depression was about 100 kilometers northeast of Trincomalee in Sri Lanka, or about 270 kilometers southeast of Nagapattinam in India. It is moving to the west-northwest at 6 kilometers per hour. The winds there 45 gusting up to 65 kilometers per hour, and our pressure at 1006 hectopascal. Take a look at Dvorak. Not much really to see here. Do have the a lot of the low level clouds associated with the with this depression. Notice quite a bit of that deep convection over northern province. The agency is generally saying 1.5 to 2.0 for your final T. 2.0 is the general consensus, though, for the current intensity. The system is starting to weaken a little bit different. Difference in terms of how they reach those numbers. NESDIS using a shear technique that gave them a 2.0 based on their data. JTWC opted for the convection wrap, which I personally don't really agree with, but got 0.2 there, or 0.2 of a wrap there, which gave them a data T of 1.5. The advanced Dvorak technique showing about 33 knots based on a 1 minute average. For our surface analysis, do have the center of this depression, again, just to the northeast of Sri Lanka, trapped along the southern periphery of this large area of high pressure that's dominating much of China. It should continue moving off to the west, though, and really not a whole lot here to talk about other than the the moderate shear that's over the system. That's going to help keep it from intensifying much, and then of course this should be making landfall shortly within the next several hours. So once it does make landfall, the mountainous terrain in northern Sri Lanka should erode away the center of circulation. India Meteorological Department is not producing a forecast track. There is this observed track. You can see the past motion, at least with this system, should continue in the short term, going northwestward or west-northwestward, and then bending more toward the west-southwest as it approaches landfall. And that's mimicked by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center track. Again, looking for landfall at about 18 to 20 Zulu, which would be shortly after midnight, early Monday morning local time. Current winds, based on JTWC's forecast, 40 gust 50 knots, that's about 75 gust 95 kilometers per hour. Again, really no deviation from what we talked about earlier. Do have the moderate shear, limited outflow aloft. Once it does make landfall, it should weaken. We'll just have to really watch the threat of some heavy rains in northern Sri Lanka as well as southeastern India, and then monitor any possible redevelopment once it does re-emerge over water. Local surface weather plots as of 9 Zulu do have some light drizzle, light rain across northeastern Sri Lanka. There was some thunderstorms off to the far northern part, not really being picked up by any of the observations. Do have some drizzle along far southeastern India. Take a look at those observations. Trincomalee there in Sri Lanka right now, light winds 11 kilometers there. Do have some intermittent drizzle in their observation, but not really affecting the visibility whatsoever at 15 kilometers. And then at Valvunia, again, some showers a little bit earlier, but fair conditions there. 6 kilometer winds, pressure awfully high at 1008.8. Of course, you can join the conversation over at storm2k.org. We're going to continue to monitor the progress of this depression as it makes landfall there in northern Sri Lanka. You can also follow along on Twitter at Senior Pepper. I'll be posting any pertinent updates as they happen. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay safe out there. Have a great day and take care.